October in the UK is a showcase of classic autumn weather, sunshine one day, and a completely different scene the next. The month is a true transition period, where the last whispers of summer warmth fade away and the first hints of winter begin to creep in. Across the country, parks and countryside are painted in golds, reds, and browns, as leaves tumble to the ground and the sunlight filters through the changing canopy. Rain and wind often sweep in, sometimes with little warning. One moment you might be enjoying a crisp, clear afternoon, and the next, you're caught in a sudden downpour or gusty breeze. This unpredictability is part of what makes October weather in the UK so memorable, and at times, challenging. The days are getting noticeably shorter and there's a definite chill in the air, especially during the early mornings and late evenings. People bundle up in warmer coats and scarves, and you can often see your breath as you step outside to start your day. The evenings arrive earlier, with mist settling over villages and towns, creating a cozy, almost magical atmosphere. Low-pressure systems from the Atlantic frequently bring bands of rain and blustery conditions, while high pressure can briefly settle things down, offering spells of calm and sunshine. These changes can happen quickly, with the weather sometimes shifting dramatically within a single day. Temperatures have been up and down, with some days feeling surprisingly mild for the time of year. On these days, people take advantage of the pleasant weather, heading outdoors to enjoy the fresh air and the beauty of the season. But in colder spots, the first hints of frost are starting to appear. Early risers might find a thin layer of ice on their car windows or a sparkling frost covering the grass, a clear sign that winter is on its way. This back and forth between mild and chilly, wet and dry, is typical for British autumn. It keeps everyone guessing and makes planning outdoor activities a bit of a gamble. Still, it's part of what makes the season so interesting and unique. The jet stream, a fast-moving ribbon of air high above the Earth, is strengthening and shifting at this time of year. It acts like a conveyor belt, steering these ever-changing weather systems across the country and playing a major role in the UK's famously variable autumn weather. It's a dynamic time, as nature transitions from the lingering warmth of summer to the first real chills of winter. Wildlife is busy preparing for the colder months, and the landscape itself seems to change almost daily. The mix of moist air from the Atlantic and cold air from the north creates the unsettled pattern we know so well. Stormy days can bring dramatic skies and powerful winds, especially along the coast, while inland areas might see sudden showers or bursts of sunshine. As autumn deepens, the landscape transforms with vibrant colors, reminding us that winter is just around the corner. October is a month of change, beauty, and unpredictability, a true celebration of the UK's ever-fascinating weather. There's been plenty of buzz about the possibility of snow this October, but what do the forecasts really say? While some headlines predict an early winter blast, professional forecasts show no strong signal for widespread snow this month. Temperatures will drop, especially later in October, but not enough for most of us to see snow. Dramatic predictions often come from a single, extreme computer model, not the consensus. The reality, the chance of significant October snow for most of the UK is very low. The highest Scottish mountains might see a dusting, but for towns and cities, rain and wind remain the main story. It's best to rely on daily forecasts rather than sensational headlines. For now, a major October snow event is not on the cards. When you think of October in the UK, you probably picture golden leaves, misty mornings, and the first real chill in the air. But snow, that's something you almost never see this early in the season. For most of the UK, October snow is incredibly rare. The landscape is still painted in shades of green and brown, with trees holding onto their last leaves and the countryside showing little sign of winter's arrival. The ground and sea are still holding onto the warmth of summer, which makes it almost impossible for snow to settle, even if a few flakes do fall from the sky. The Earth simply isn't cold enough yet. That's why when it comes to precipitation in October, it's nearly always rain. Umbrellas and raincoats are the norm, not snow boots and sledges. Still, every now and then, history surprises us. Take the remarkable London snowfall in October 2008, the first time in over 70 years that the city saw snow this early. It caught everyone off guard and made headlines across the country. These rare events are usually confined to the highest ground, like the Scottish Highlands or the peaks of northern England, where temperatures can dip low enough for snow to form and stick. For snow to settle in the lowlands, we need a perfect storm, a blast of cold Arctic air, just the right amount of moisture, and a sudden drop in temperature. This combination is much more likely to happen in December or January, not October. So when snow does fall in October, it's a true anomaly, a rare event that stands out against the usual autumn backdrop of rain and wind. That's why, when those first unexpected flakes appear, there's a real sense of excitement and wonder. People rush to the windows, children hope for a snow day, and social media lights up with photos of the unusual scene. But for most of us, October is still all about rain-soaked streets, swirling leaves, and the gradual transition from the warmth of summer to the cold of winter. Snowmen and snowball fights will have to wait a little longer. Winter is definitely on its way, but in October, it's still just a distant promise, slowly creeping closer with every frosty morning. Not all parts of the UK are equal when it comes to snow. The country's unique geography and climate mean that some areas are far more likely to see a winter wonderland than others. While many people imagine the UK as a place of endless grey skies and drizzle, snow is actually quite selective about where it falls. Scotland, especially the Highlands and Cairngorms, sees the most snow, sometimes from as early as October and lasting all the way through to May. These regions are famous for their rugged mountains and high elevations, which create the perfect conditions for heavy snowfall. In fact, some of the UK's deepest snow can be found here, with snowdrifts occasionally reaching several feet deep. The remote villages, nestled in these mountains, can sometimes be cut off for days, making snow a real part of daily life in winter. In England, the north is snowier, with the Pennines, Lake District, and North York moors often blanketed in winter. These upland areas are known for their rolling hills and dramatic scenery, which become even more striking under a layer of snow. The higher you go, the more likely you are to see snow settle and stick around, sometimes transforming the landscape into a sparkling white paradise for days or even weeks. High-altitude towns can be cut off by snow, with roads sometimes impassable and daily routines disrupted. Meanwhile, the southwest and coastal areas see much less snow due to the milder Atlantic air that sweeps in from the ocean. These regions often stay green and wet, with rain far more common than snow, even in the depths of winter. Wales Mountains, Snowdonia, and the Brecon Beacons also get their share of snow, especially on the highest peaks. These areas can experience sudden snowstorms and icy conditions, making them popular with winter hikers and photographers. However, coastal Wales stays much milder, with snow a rare sight along the shoreline. Northern Ireland's Sperrin Mountains and Glens of Antrim see some snow, but generally less than Scotland or northern England. Here, snow tends to be lighter and less frequent, often melting quickly. Still, when it does arrive, it brings a magical touch to the countryside, delighting locals and visitors alike. Altitude is key. For every 100 meters you climb, the temperature drops by about half a degree Celsius. This means that rain in the valleys can easily turn to snow on the hilltops, creating a patchwork of weather across the landscape. That's why the highest points in the UK are often the snowiest, even when lower ground stays wet and green. Proximity to the sea matters too. Coastal areas stay warmer thanks to the moderating influence of the ocean, so snow is much less likely to settle. The salty sea air and milder temperatures mean that even when snow does fall, it rarely lasts long by the coast. That's why a village just a few miles inland can be blanketed in snow, while a nearby coastal town only gets rain. The difference can be dramatic, with one area enjoying a winter wonderland, and the other dealing with puddles and mud. Geography shapes our winter weather in dramatic ways, creating a patchwork of snowy hills, green valleys, and rain-soaked coasts. The UK's varied landscape means that winter can look very different depending on where you are. So, if you want to experience the magic of snow in the UK, head for the hills and higher ground. That's where you'll find the best chance of a true winter wonderland, with crisp air, sparkling snow, and breathtaking views. Climate change is reshaping UK winters. Over recent decades, winters have become milder and wetter, with fewer prolonged cold spells. Higher average temperatures mean more winter rain and less snow, especially in southern regions. For snow to form, we need freezing air, something that's becoming less common. Cold snaps still happen, but they're shorter and less intense. Wetter winters bring new challenges like increased flooding when heavy rain falls on already saturated ground. This shift affects everything from water management to how we build our homes. Snow isn't gone for good, but the number of snowy days is declining. The dream of a white Christmas is fading as our climate warms. Understanding these trends helps us make sense of today's weather. Comparing this autumn to the past highlights how much our winters have changed. Decades ago, colder, snowier winters were more common. Think of the legendary winter of 1962–63. Scientific records confirm a steady decline in frost and snow days since the 1960s. The Central England temperature record shows a clear warming trend, especially in winter. Today, cold spells are shorter and less severe, making widespread snow less likely. This October's mild, unsettled outlook fits the new normal. Early snowfalls are now rare events, not signs of a harsh winter ahead. These changes affect everything from farming to energy bills. The winters of the past are no longer a reliable guide for what's to come. In a country with unpredictable weather, staying informed is essential. Weather apps offer up-to-date, location-specific forecasts, perfect for planning your day. TV and radio forecasts add expert context, explaining the bigger weather patterns at play. The Met Office website provides detailed forecasts and issues weather warnings for severe events. Signing up for alerts can help you stay safe and avoid disruption. Learning a bit about weather basics makes forecasts easier to understand. By combining apps, broadcasts, and official sources, you get a complete picture. Stay prepared, and you'll be ready for whatever the British weather brings. Looking ahead, expect more of the same changeable autumn weather. Rain and wind will alternate with brighter, calmer spells as Atlantic systems move in. Temperatures will keep dropping, with longer nights and more frequent frosts, especially in the north and countryside. Occasional milder days will pop up, but the overall trend is downward. Snow chances will rise in November and December, mainly in the hills and mountains. For most, rain remains the main story, but a cold snap could bring a surprise. The key is to be prepared for anything. Autumn is unpredictable. Trust short-term forecasts for the most reliable information. Enjoy the crisp days, but keep your waterproofs handy. This is classic British autumn, always keeping us guessing. October's weather has been a classic mix of sun, rain, and wind. No early winter just yet. Despite the headlines, widespread October snow remains highly unlikely. Our climate is shifting. Winters are starting later, and snow is becoming rarer. That doesn't mean a cold, snowy winter is impossible. But bold predictions should be taken with caution. The best approach is to stay informed and flexible as the season changes. Reliable forecasts help you plan and stay safe, whatever your plans. For now, enjoy the colors and crisp air of autumn. Winter will arrive in its own time. Until then, keep an eye on the ever-changing forecast.